No, 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 no. I, yes, I did say I would use that song for an intro, but I was just kidding. I can't play that song on YouTube. Why? First of all, copyright infringement, and the lyrics of that song will probably get me kicked off YouTube. Sorry. Sorry, folks. Production team. Okay, let's work on another song. Until then, let's let her rip. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Ronald right here, your boy with a cornbread accent. Welcome you to Wrestling Gold Friday Night. Yes, we made it to Friday, and you know what time it is for all those who had to deal with the grind, bruvs and sisters, and for the ones who are having to still do the grind this weekend. We salute you. Cheers. Yes, that was just staring me in the face. But anyway, yes, welcome to Wrestling Gold Friday Night, where we talk about the good old days of professional wrestling. Uh, Back when wrestling was wrestling, and it was way better. I can say that because I'm old. Anyway, don't worry, kids. You're gonna get old one day, and you're gonna tell people that you know AJ Styles, Will Ospreay were way better than whoever comes out then. But anyway, yeah, yes, we do talk about the good old days of professional wrestling. Appreciate everybody tuning in. I think I already had. Hello, Karen Poole. So yes, the chat is open. Join me in the chat. If you have any questions you want to ask or any memories you want to share about anything I discussed this evening, uh, or just say hello. I will say hello right back and call you by your name if I can get it right. But anyway, yes, we got some history to talk about, and for the watch along, we are going to do some USWA Dallas. Um, if I seem a little shaky, I apologize. I think my allergies are kind of acting up a little bit. I got some had to walk through some woods this afternoon, and I don't know. Sometimes the whatever pollen's left or any kind of allergies, I sometimes sticks to me. So I get a little, I have the chills a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and apologize for that, or it could be because it's cold beer. But if you're not able to join me live in the chat, I always replay it. So there's a little comment section. Ask questions, make a comment, share some memories of anything I discussed this evening, or like I said, just say hello. Also, if you're being entertained, click that thumbs up button. It lets me and those folks at YouTube that people actually like my shit. And Also, hey, be a champ. If you're not a subscriber yet, be a champ and click on that subscribe button. It's all greatly appreciated, and it's all about having fun here. So, uh, what should we get to first? I have no idea. Uh, so yes, I just a babble a little bit, kill some time. I did get new internet service today. Supposed to be a pretty good deal. Only bad thing about it, I am going to have to buy a new router and buy a new router, and I'll have to price them first. Uh, because I would love to save 10 extra bucks a month. I have no problem with that whatsoever. Because I'm kind of cheap. Uh, so that went as smoothly as you expect. I think I took total time about a little less than 3 hours. Um, the guy who kind of sold me the product, he said the technician was able to go one way, but he couldn't go that way, so he went another way. And I don't know if that cost him some time or however it goes. I know nothing about installing cable. I just, like I was trying to explain last night, if you tell me the uh, fancy words about technology, you lost me. I can plug this in, plug that in, plug this in, and it works. But as far as any kind of you know the technical words, the technical side of it, I'm out. So, but yeah, so far it's moving quite quite fast. This will be first weekend with it, and it's going to get worked out. Uh, like I said, I only have streaming network, so uh, going to be watching some horror movies and all that good stuff. So let's kick things off like I always do on a Wrestling Gold Friday night and talk about today in wrestling history. Of course, today is October 25th. On this date in 1971, Sputnik Monroe and Norville Austin, young Norville Austin there, defeated Len Rossi and Barry Cat Brown for the vacant Southern Tag Team Championship on this day in 1974 in Atlanta, Georgia, at the Municipal Auditorium. Ole and Gene Anderson, I was about to say Arn, Ole and Gene Anderson battled Buddy Colt and Harley Race to a draw, which caused the Georgia Tag Team Championships to be held up. Uh, hey, let's go to Japan for 1986. All Japan Pro Wrestling and Tokyo Sumo Hall. The PWF US Champion, the Destroyer, the original one, Dick Beyer, defeated Abdul the Butcher. Kentaro Oki and Kim Duke defeated Giant Baba and Jumbo Saruta to win the NWA International Tag Team Championship. Let's see. Let's stay in Japan a little bit. For 1977 and New Japan Pro Wrestling in Tokyo. A very somewhat historical event happened here at the Budokan Hall, drawing 10,000 people. Mitsu Yoshida defeated Haruku Egan. Asumu Kito defeated Kendo Kimura. Shinji Sakaguchi defeated Alan Cooge, which he grew up to become Bad News Allen or Bad News Brown in the WWF. Hit him by submission in a judo jacket match, which I do believe, yes, Alan Cooge, Bad News Brown was I think he went to the Olympics in judo. Should have researched that. My bad. Anyway, for the Real World Martial Arts Championship, it was Antonio Inoki defeating boxer Chuck Wepner in a wrestler versus boxer match. And I think this preludes the famous Muhammad Ali Antonio Inoki fight they had, or uh, or train wreck, depends on how you look at it. Uh, did anybody in the chat remember the Muhammad Ali Antonio Inoki fight? I don't think I've tell the truth. I never really looked for footage, so um, maybe one day I'll look for footage. Is it out there in YouTube land or something like that? And how bad was it? Was it the train wreck everybody says it is? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. On this date in 1981, big time wrestling Star Wars in Dallas, Texas at Reunion Arena. Frank Dusek defeated Jesse Leon, Terry Orndorff, and Richard Blood. Shane Chung defeated Big Daddy Bundy, who of course is King Kong Bundy. Junkyard Dog pinned Armand Hussein. World class brass knuckles champion Ernie Ladd defeated Jose Lothario. David Von Erich defeated Killer Tim Brooks in a bunkhouse match. Kerry Von Erich and Terry Orndorff defeated Great Kabuki and Shane Chung to win the world class tag team titles. And the world class Texas champion Al Madril defeated Bill Irwin by DQ. So yes, I think they was about to slowly change their name to World Class. Of course, it was called Big Time. I think uh, beginning of '82, they went from Big Time Wrestling to World Class, and it was totally in the hands of Fritz Von Erich. All right. On this date in 1982, Steve Regal and Spike Huber. I didn't think he wrestled that long. Oh, he was kind of a rookie when he started. Let's talk about Spike Huber. This name popped up a lot. That's the reason it kind of dawned on me. Anyway, they defeated Carl Fergie and the Angel Crusher Broomfield, of course, who grew up to become the one man gang, defeated Buddy Landale, the WWA Tag Team Champions. Britt McGraw and Dream Machine defeated Jerry Roberts, who was Jacques Rougeau, and Terry Taylor. The Sheep Herders, of course, this version was Jonathan Boyd and Luke Williams before Butch Miller came in the fold. Defeated Dutch Mantel, and Bill Dundee by DQ. The Fabulous Ones, Steve Kern, Stan Lane defeated Sweet Brown Sugar and Bobby Eaton in a no DQ match to win the Southern Tag Team Championship. And Jerry Lawler beat the Southern champion Nick Bockwinkel by disqualification. Also on this date, man, here's a memory if you're a Southeast Championship Wrestling fan. Probably a lot of hearts got broken, I guess, or a lot of people just upset. They were upset by none other than Bob Armstrong. Something you didn't think would actually happen. Do you see Ron Fuller's got the full lead lock? He's about to beat Ric Flair, become world champion, but Bob drops the elbow, drops another one, drops the third one. Uh, for good measure, drops the knees. Uh, Flair covers him, and Armstrong goes down, gives a count 1, 2, and 3. Flair keeps the championship. Um, Hell of an angle there. If I remember the story correctly, they made the whole. I mean, because you gotta understand, Bob Armstrong was like the most popular wrestler there, like top babyface. Uh, I don't know about heartthrob wise, but kind of like Cody Rhodes is somewhat top babyface. Uh, Steamboat like, but and he did that, turned against Ron Fuller, and of course they've had feuds up and down the Knoxville southeastern portion of the territory and the Pensacola portion of the territory, and to see Bob Armstrong, longtime friend, sometimes opponent, turn against him, and this was Fuller's shot at becoming world champion. I think they went as bad as having had Bob Armstrong grow a mustache, come on the screen smoking a cigarette. I think he actually smacked Brad Armstrong around, which he was only 19 or 20 at the time. So, and Brad Armstrong being his legit son. So they put a lot of heat on Bob Armstrong, but eventually he straightened his act out. But yeah, I remember hearing stories about. Remember hearing talking, or not talking, but Ron Fuller. He's got a podcast himself called the Studcast. Pretty cool to listen to. A lot of history to soak up there. Excuse me. And he talked about this. I don't know if it was the Bob Armstrong tribute or another one where he talked about this angle here, uh, and you gotta understand it too. It's like back in the territories, and you had a traveling world champion. And a lot of times, the champion was a heel. So NWA liked the heel uh, world champion. That way, all the baby faces chase him, and you can't keep doing disqualifications. Can't draw drawaways, draws, whatever you want to call it. So sometimes they gotta do think of something to do to make sure or champion whoever it is leaves with a championship, of course, and not make the top baby face in the territory look bad. So this is one way to get out of it. So uh, pretty pretty cool stuff back then. Well, it's not cool that Bullet Bob turned against the fans and turned against the foolers. But anyway, so let's go all the way up to 1992. Spin the wheel, make the deal. WCW presented Halloween Havoc in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at the Civic Center, drawing a whopping 7,000 people. That's 1992. Probably a lot of people will few promotions, indie or other, except for the top dog. Uh, would love to have a $7,000 house. And of course, it was shown on live on pay per view. Dark Match had Eric Watts and Van Hammer defeat Beanie Vegas and Diamond Dallas Page. Good call there. Uh, being sarcastic, because we all know what a big star Kevin Nash became. Of course, that was Beanie Vegas. And actually, in the Shawn Michaels shoot interview, he says, I think him and I think it was Scott Hall, when they watched WCW, they were a huge fan of Beanie Vegas uh, and that character, but he didn't bring that character to the WWF at the time. Uh, this is called Diesel, Shawn Michaels' bodyguard, and future Triple Crown champion. And of course, Diamond Dallas Page. This is early in his in-ring wrestling career. Not too early, before he finally got a big push. A little before he got the big push and everything, but uh, probably not the greatest at the time. But Eric Watts, kind of got feel sorry for that kid, because he was the son of Bill Watts, and people kind of punished him for it. Uh, Also on YouTube, don't watch it now. Don't find it now. Watch it after this. He kind of goes on a tirade of how Eric Watts is treated, and Van Hammer's just Van. Anyway, Tom Zink and Johnny Gunn, who was Tom Brandy, uh, along with Shane Douglas, defeated Arn Anderson, Michael Hayes, and Bobby Eaton. Ricky Steamboat pinned Brian Pillman. Big Van Vader defeated Nikita Koloff. The NWA and WCW World Tag Team Champions, Barry Windham and Dusty Rhodes, went Broadway with Steve Williams and Steve Austin. Steve Austin, of course, taking the place of Terry Gordy. Not sure why he didn't show up. I don't know if this didn't show up. Uh, Rick Rude beat NWA champion Masahiro Chono via disqualification. WCW World Champion Ron Simmons pinned the Barbarian. Tommy Young. And of course, Sting, the match, they had a wheel, so you had to spin the wheel, make the deal, and the match stipulation was a Coal Miners Club match. So Sting wound up defeating Jake the State Roberts in a Coal Miners Club match. And the rest is history there. And of course, this is time, yes, Bill Watts is in control. Uh, I guess they was trying to have a working partnership with the NWA. That's why you see they had an NWA Tag Team Tournament, which was won by Steve Williams and Terry Gordy, and they also won the WCW Tag Team Championships, which were they defeated Steiner Brothers. Um, Masahiro Chono wound up winning the tournament. I think after him was Muda. Rude held it, but after they had that falling out, whatever they just call it, the WCW International World Champion. So that's if you watch and didn't know why there was a switch, they just guess that they had fallen out, and more than likely, I think that's when Bill Watts kind of stepped down or fired, depends on who you believe. But I still say, even though there was like no top rope moves banned or the ban of the top ropes, it was getting a little excited. But unfortunately, I don't think Bill Watts' heart was totally in it. And of course, none of those guys, especially on contract, the big contract guys, they didn't care for Bill Watts. They weren't going to, put up with the that old school mentality, finding people for being late. Everybody staying until the last match. I think in Mick Foley's book, he talked about that era right there where uh, he actually described it. It was like everybody lined up to take off for the Indy 500. As soon as that final bell rang, everybody was already in the cars, were ready to drive off. So, uh, but he had his rules, and sometimes when you watch this current product, you kind of think, hey, maybe even though they were strict, uh, kind of a my way or a highway type personalities, um, like him, Ole. I don't think Eddie Graham was that way. It could have been a little bit, but uh, when it hit, when the AW was good, AWA was good, Bernganya. You wish somebody kind of like that would come into, uh, I mean, some of these current promotions. Let's just say that, and kind of crack the whip a little bit and say, look, this is how shit's going to be. Nobody has this these stipulations in their contract where they have 100% control of the character and all that good stuff. So, all right, let's get off that soapbox. Also, on this date in 1998, we had another Halloween Havoc. Oh boy, I remember watching this one. 1998 Halloween Havoc in Las Vegas, Nevada, at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, drawing 10,663. Of course, shown live on pay per view. WCW TV champion Chris Jericho defeated Raven. Decent match. Wrath, who was Brian Clark, defeated Ming. Not great. Could have been better. Uh, I think if those two would have competed now and kind of do that stiff style a little bit, or a little more snugger. Snugger. That sounds so snugger, a little snugger. Anyway, it'd probably been a little bit better, but Disco Inferno and Ubu Guerrera. Even at that time, I was like, wow, what the fudge? Just being a pro wrestling geek, it's like wasn't a fan of Disco Inferno at all. Actually, do follow him on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. He can be pretty funny sometimes, but I mean, just take it like this. Sometimes your best baseball managers or football coach, any sports coach, whatever, was not the greatest players, but became better coaches because they had time to kind of look at and dissect everything. Uh, Sometimes your best players don't become good coaches. But Disco, I don't know if I put him in that. I don't know if I was starting a promotion and Inferno was available. Uh, I definitely would have to be in there if he starts talking about aliens shooting down. I'm like, no, 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 no. None of that bullshit. But supposedly he's had those kind of ideas. Don't know 100%, but supposedly he's had those kind of ideas. Uh, so yeah, there'll be a trial, and I think I give him 3 times. He comes up with some alien or zombies or God Almighty popping up. I'll be like, okay, dude, you're done. Anyway, Alex Wright defeated Dave Finley. Remember this one being pretty decent for its time. Uh, More than likely, if you watch it today, it'll probably be a little dated. I'm trying to think. Oh, he might have, Alex Wright might have been. Gosh, I wish I looked at everything. He was probably still doing the dancing bullshit. Wasn't Berlin yet, so uh, from the page I got, it called him Alex Wright. So they didn't call him Berlin, so he was just still a heel dancing fool. Alex Wright. Was that the Was that the name of the tag team between of Alex Wright and Disco Inferno, the Dancing Fools? I think it was. Anyway, Perry Saturn defeated Lodi. One of Perry Saturn's better matches, but it was decent. Perry Saturn was, I say, top of his game at this point. WCW Cruiserweight Champion Billy Kidman defeated Disco Inferno. Rick Steiner beat the Giant and Scott Steiner. Scott Steiner substituted for Scott Hall in a handicap match to win the WCW World Tag Team titles. Um, then Rick Steiner defeated Scott Steiner in a no DQ match because you just got to throw people back in it. Uh, Scott Hall defeated Kevin Nash via countout because he didn't show up. United States Champion Bret Hart defeated Sting, and possibly one of the worst matches in pay per view history. Hulk Hogan pinned the Warrior. Warrior, of course, being Ultimate Warrior, Jim Hellwig. Gosh, was this match garbage. Uh, he Hulk Hogan tried to throw the fire, and I guess he lit it before he didn't perfect the whole fire throwing thing. Maybe he should have perfected it before he decided to throw it. Uh, I think what is it like magicians like flash paper? You light it, then throw it, and it kind of disintegrates. Maybe I'll go on Amazon and see if I can get some flash paper. That'd be cool. I'll be throwing fire at everybody. Watch out. Next get together, I'll be throwing the flames. Uh, if any of my you know family members are watching this, I might have to do that if I can find some flash paper. I'm pretty sure Amazon has it. But yeah, it was not good. Um, I think somebody said it best where might have been Warrior in his interview said one of Hogan's best matches was against the Ultimate Warrior. That's the WrestleMania match, which was actually pretty decent. I mean, if um, you're not going to get moonsaults, drop kicks, arm drags, um, springboard, Hurricanranas in that match, but it was solid for that time, for that time. But this one in '98, rumor has it he just brung him in, get that win back. So uh, leave it at that. I mean, it's not that this took place in 1998. Who cares now? It's 2024. So when you have kind of the power to do that, um, maybe I would say like 85, 80, 75 to 80% of people will do the same thing as Hulk Hogan. And I think Mercedes Monet is in that same boat now as well. Um, if it's not working for you, you think you're that top draw, still, of course you're gonna use your influence to keep yourself on top. Not sure if I would. I'd say I probably would because sometimes you get in that bubble. Uh, Vince Russo kind of described it great. People sometimes get in that wrestling bubble and they never really come out of it. I mean, I think he kind of is a way kind of knocked Jim Cornette a little bit. Jim Cornette was in that wrestling bubble from 83, 84, and he never left 83, 84. And now at the time it was 94. Things change uh, in especially in a decade. Music is different. Uh, Pop culture is definitely different. But sometimes you just gotta think sometimes you just gotta have to sit down and kind of flip the TV a little bit and see what's out there in the rest of the world, and figure things out. Anyway, the main event was WCW World Champion Bill Goldberg pinned Diamond Dallas Page to retain the WCW World Championship. Of course, this is when Goldberg was white hot. I mean, people chanted Goldberg, Goldberg. I mean, you probably had like whole programs of Thunder, and everybody still chanting Goldberg. I know there's a little bit of knock on him now, but you really got to go back and really see how over this guy was to really appreciate it. I mean, this is I, I say this is probably one of their only homegrown talents that they actually pushed besides Sting, like Sloop, or was yeah, well Sting came from UWF, and Diamond Dallas Page. They eventually did push, uh, but this was theirs. The guy never went to WWE, never started in WWE. Unfortunately, never did do any kind of independence. But he did like some Hollywood person didn't wasn't able to do. He survived uh, Dwayne Bruce's bullshit and the power plant and became a pro wrestler. So and a successful one. Now maybe if they kept that training going and everything else, and didn't do the that bullshit smoz where Kevin Nash pinned Goldberg got the taser. I think what kind of started the nails in that coffin of WCW as far as popularity. I mean, sometimes you can do stupid shit, then rebuild. Um, I think. I mean, look at TNA. They're starting to slowly, but I need to watch more TNA. So yes, anybody in the chat, does, who in TNA do I need to uh, kind of pay attention to? Uh, I know the um, Joe Hendry, is that his name? Call his name and he leaving. Anyway, I ain't gonna sing the song. But um, besides him, I kind of seen him a couple times in NXT. When I did, I watched a really a full episode of NXT, which yes, I need to do as well. But sometimes you just gotta relax a little bit. But anyway, what was I going with? So yeah, I mean TNA was um, surprising or not, when Hulk Hogan came in, I was like, no, 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 no. Because I like TNA. I did watch the Wednesday pay per views for TNA. Not all of them, but most of them. When they start at what 3 p.m. on Fox, didn't watch that because I was still at work, and I don't think I had a DVR at the time. And sometimes at that time I did have a steady girlfriend, so it was kind of hard to watch that, and you know because I was way busy at that time, way busy. Um, but and I kind of mentioned this to a friend of mine. I was like, I wish we can go back time and if people gave uh, TNA half the chance that they're giving AEW, they probably wouldn't even bring Hulk Hogan in. Hopefully not. Even though there was a teaser when it first started about bringing Hogan in, but uh, I was like, no, please don't bring him in. I mean, no offense to Hulk Hogan, his time at that time was done for. He done all he can do. Uh, but he did have that one final good match with The Rock. Probably should have been against Austin, but um, it fit. Hollywood Hulk Hogan uh, versus the guy who was about to go to Hollywood, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So that that kind of made up for it, but still, it's like um, and TNA with Hogan and the whole I mean, they tried their best, but it was just kind of unwatchable, and especially when they was doing like 5 or 10 shows, uh, TV tapings, uh, a show or something like that, um, and all the spoilers were being released and all that good stuff. But even at that tail end, they did have some talent, and unfortunately, nobody cared at that point. Everybody's done. Everybody that kind of gave TNA a chance, uh, you know, kind of disbarred TNA. Joe King, what's up? I ain't doing it because I got a little bit of a sinus thing, headache thing, kind of got the chills a little bit. I don't know. I think this beer helped me out, kind of warm up. I don't know. I never knew beer would kind of warm you up. I thought it was whiskey, tequila, any kind of straight liquor. Which I need to get another 6 pack of this or something. Brenda Watson, how you doing? Nice glasses. Uh, okay, I just pulled up the bottle. Yeah, we're not matching there. Water. Sorry, we're not matching again. So, uh, sorry. We need to one time make sure we match my Gatorade to whatever color of whatever the heck you're doing. So, but anyway, yes, that concludes the day in wrestling history. Let's see. Are we ready to do a watch along? And of course, today's watch along is the USWA in Dallas, the Dallas portion of the USWA. Little backstory here. Try to do my best from memory. Uh, Jerry Jarrett had bought World Class from Chris or Von Erichs. Let's call it Von Erichs. I don't think it's exactly Fritz because I think Fritz gave total control to Kevin Von Erich, and then it was just too much. I mean, all the top talent would always go to WCW or WWF at the time. Uh, I thought the global stuff when they first started was pretty good, but that's a few years later. But um, but yeah, they had the angle where, of all people, Eric Embry was a babyface. Had this big cage match against PY High, which was Bill Hickerson. Uh, Whoever won that match, if Eric Embry won, USWA would take over. If PY High won, it'll uh, still be world class. And people were like cheering for a change, which was kind of odd. But it did get changed. They pulled the banner down, the world class, and it officially became USWA Dallas. Because again, is by Jerry. Jerry he still ran Memphis. So yeah, let's take a little pause to the calls. I'll be right back after these messages, and we'll check out some USWA Dallas.
Thank you for checking out our P2 Vision. Subscribe to our P2 Vision to watch Ronald Ray's content that covers the sport of professional wrestling from yesterday to today. His weekly content starts off with Wrestling Trivia Tuesday. Every Tuesday, Ronald Ray asks 5 questions about the sport of professional wrestling. So tune in and have some fun. Then it's WWE Monday Night Raw recaps, where he recaps all the action from the Raw brand. Ronald Ray also does an AEW Dynamite recap show where he recaps and has fun doing it. Do you like live streams? Well, join Ronald Ray live on Spot Show Livestream, where he discusses current wrestling. Join the chat and have fun. Spot Show Livestream is on Thursday nights starting at 8 p.m. If current pro wrestling isn't your thing, like all wrestling past and present, or you're a new fan and want to hear how things were back in the day, then tune in to Wrestling Gold Friday night, where Ronald Ray discusses back in the day when wrestling was wrestling, featuring watch-alongs. That's Wrestling Gold Friday night on Fridays starting at 8 p.m.
And I'm back, boys and girls. Where do we get in chat? Joe King, took me a few to warm up to Eric Embry. Uh, I'm not sure if I really warmed up to him. Uh, I just, eh, he was a better heel than babyface, I think. I mean, especially if you look at things now, go back and look at it, it's like, okay, I can boo him easier than I can cheer. Because I know after that debacle, he did go to Memphis with Tom Pritchard, was like the Texas group or something like that, and feuded with Lawler, Jarrett, and all them. Which reminds me, I need to. Let me. Here's a link to the show, and let me know when it's time to do the countdown, press play, and all that good stuff. But yeah, like I said, wasn't that fun with Eric Embry. Not as a babyface. It was just like, and it was kind of, not really weird, but when he first came into world class, because he did come in as like the world class light heavyweight champion. Then he pretty much stayed in Dallas the rest of the time. Don't think he left. If he did left, it wasn't too long. Had some good matches with Jeff Jarrett at the time. Young Jeff Jarrett, of course, for that light heavyweight championship, and he was doing the kind of the pretty boy, uh, adorable Eric Embry or something like that, or exotic Eric Embry. Yeah, I think it was exotic Eric Embry, and he kind of did shed that and he gained some pounds, and kind of was the kind of rough, tough Texas, not wearing the cowboy boots and everything like that, but just a basic rough and tumbling. I'm gonna beat your brains out, Jeff Jarrett, Jerry Lawler. I'm gonna beat your brains in and leave you. I think that's what kind of killed me too, because he would do that. I'll leave you for dead bullshit. And I think I watched something recently where Eric Embry was in Memphis and he said that. It's like, see, here you are, you're watching old school stuff and somebody who is decent at promos, says shit like that. It's like, you're not going to leave anybody for dead. Well, I guess, okay, theoretically, I guess he can leave them for dead, but not kill them. Unlike some promos today, they want to kill each other. It's like, you're not going to kill nobody because it's against the law. You'll go to prison. Uh, and so you should be getting, you know, police call on you right now for threatening to kill somebody. But obviously, people don't understand logic sometimes. So, yes, I will give the countdown. Five, four, three, two, one. Press play now.
Greetings, everyone. Whoops. Welcome to
And to be honest, I wasn't a huge fan of World Class. I liked it, but I didn't love it like a lot of people did. Just to be honest, uh, didn't really care for Bill Mercer as a commentator or Mark Lawrence. Of course, I think Mark Lawrence was a preacher then, and he's a preacher now. Yeah, I think he's still alive, he's still preaching. And there's Terrence Garvin, the beauty of Beauty and the Beast. And I think he, when it turned to global, he would cut the hair and became Terry, maybe Terry, not Terry Garvin, but Terry Daniel or something like that. But of course, was a time where uh, Adrian Street was popular, so he did that character kind of the uh, gay character, homosexual character. So here comes uh, Terrence Garvin with that. Hey, we just got through talking to about old Jeff Jarrett. Now is he coming out to Robert Palmer's Simply Irresistible? Because I do got I got the volume now. Don't want no copyrights, emails. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, they had a good mix of characters, but a lot of people did. He doesn't look happy, and he just got his ass kicked, and that's a classic, classic spot. Uh, and Brocco Luvich is your referee. Never, I don't think there's not too many times he actually got flat on the mat to count to do any counts. He probably just kneeled down on a knee and made the count. I mean, he was old then, and he was old now, or old at this point. And of course, this is what 1990 or 89. Okay, so probably about 3 years in the business, tops, and he's starting to shape up, bulk up a little bit. So he's probably about maybe 220 here because I think he's 6. Like, no, I didn't pull his man. I didn't pull his hair. Dumbass. So I imagine the crowd was telling. I can't really hear it. Oh, it's with my brand new fast internet. And Mark Lawrence wasn't exactly a fast talker. And of course, you got to decipher what they're trying to say on the closed caption as well. Yeah, I mean, it did fade out. I mean, it looked like there was a somewhat decent crowd in there. Probably a little better than what it was during the last of the Von Erich stronghold of it. And when I was talking about like, see, now you gotta understand too, a lot of territories would have a down period. Then they kind of you know slowly would build things up. Because even Mid South, I love Mid South. There was a down period on it. You had a hot period when you had the JYD versus the Freebirds feud. Then it kind of down a little bit. You had a lot of the same people. Not a lot of what I mean by diversity. It's like all your baby faces was 6'5", muscle bound. All your heels was 6'5", muscle bound, or big guys, right? A little bit bigger guys to be the monsters to the 6'5", baby faces. And there's that middle rope drop kick. That's got. Oh, yeah, he just knelt down. Oh, like I said, Bronco, Bronco wasn't going to lay on the mat. Like, nah, too old for that shit. There's going to be no, what do they call it? No false finishes in my matches. Yeah, he was a master at taking a knee. Oh, I'm gonna take a knee right here. One, two, okay. Or one, two, three. All right, hell out. I guess he's talking about. See, Sylvia was with Robert Fuller, the Tennessee stud, uh, or as some people call him, I forgot who it was. I guess it was it Jim Cornette uh, or Tony Schiavone who called him the human jump rope. Tony Schiavone. Oh, speak of the devil, here he is. Well, not the original Tennessee stud, but at this time, yes, the Tennessee stud. And I guess they're having some kind of shindig in the middle of town because I hear somebody on the mic. Shut up. I'm the star here. And the Fullers were all, I mean, Fuller, Jimmy Golden, Ron Fuller was freaking tall. And like I said, Jeff Jarrett right there is probably about 6'1". Freaking Fuller just pretty much towers over him. I imagine those matches between Robert Fuller and Bill Dundee. And of course, this is way before it became Colonel Colonel Robert Parker. God, oh, here we go. And we're off. Nice. Memphis style, not studio, but uh, ringside sportatorium brawl here. And you gotta watch the boot right there. Uh, one of the boots is a special boot because Robert Fuller injured his leg, so therefore, uh, sometimes you have to load it up and get up. I think he was about to do it, but there, man. And of course, jumping in there was Brian Lee. He, of course, became famous for being the fake Undertaker and one of the disciples of Apocalypse, or it was called. Oh yeah, I mean Fuller's and especially the Continental Southeastern Wrestling. That shit was a bomb. Uh, hey, it's Doink the Clown without his clown makeup. That's Matt Bourne, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty good wrestler. Um, and you got to admit that if you go back and look at it now, that his version of Doink the Clown was pretty spot on, pretty good. But yeah, Robert Fuller, Jimmy Golden, good tag team heel. Ron Fuller's pretty good heel. And I see they're still doing house shows. Yes, Kerry not quite ventured to the WWF quite yet. Yes, Matt Bourne and Buzz Sawyer, hell of a tag team. Boy, Buzz Sawyer's just nuts. Uh, wasn't exactly a good person in the real world, in real life, but a lot of people ain't. But his feud with Tommy Rich, his feud, I mean, heck, the little feud him and his brother had with the Legion of Doom was pretty decent. Um, his feud with Hacksaw and when he was in the Mid South UWF. Yeah, Dick Slater and Buzz Sawyer. If I was in somewhere and I seen them pissed off and ready to fight everybody, that being Buzz Sawyer and Dick Slater, I'm finding the back door. I am man enough to say I ain't gonna try it. Nope. Or the least I can do would be like, hey, can I be on y'all side? But nope. Man enough to say I would stay out of that one. Maybe maybe grab a beer, sit outside, and watch them throw people out. So yes, this was the stud stable here. Sylvia, this was his wife at the time. Of course, they were the USWA World. I think, yeah, somebody's tag team. That's actually the world class tag team belts. I mean, there was kind of small but decent looking tag belts. And yes, let's see. Sylvia, no, wasn't first one with a kendo stick. Uh, I want to say Tojo Yamamoto was. So if anybody with a kendo stick came before Tojo Yamamoto, let me. I guess Mr. Fuji and Saito maybe. I don't know because I never really see them. I seen them with salt, Saito and Fuji. See them use the salt, but I don't think I really remember or the footage I seen of Fuji and Saito never use a kendo stick. I just heard Dutch Mantel talk about Brian Lee. Good height, decent build at this time. Uh, Not roided up or anything like that, but definitely spent a little, just enough time in the gym. Kind of that Barry Windham type frame, but the dude was just not reliable at all. I mean, I guess his prime came in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Oh yeah, uh, Sylvia looking like a 1980s rock video chick. Not gonna say it. Yeah, I won't say it. Now let's give Robert Fertile credit. I'm pretty sure she gave him some of those stretch marks. Oh, I'm bad. Okay, let's quit talking about the human jump rope. I think it's the homosexual community, but don't want to spend all night talking about some dude's pose. Oh, we're gonna have Billy Joe Travis, somebody else, Chris Adams. Now, even though they didn't spend a whole lot of time together, that tag team with I think it's more the angle I liked more than the tag team itself was when Robert Fuller teamed up with Jeff Jarrett in Memphis. Because it was like Jeff Jarrett, he had problems, I guess, the Moondog or somebody, and he said, "Look, I made a deal with the devil. I called this guy. He's going to be my partner." Out comes Robert Fuller, and part of the deal was, hey, if we ever lose a match, we'll split up. But yeah, and poor guy, just getting she's beating a stew out of him with that kendo stick. Well, I'm pretty sure some of these people came from Chris Adams' Academy of Pro Wrestling, whatever he called it. Pick big boy up. Not ready to pin him. He trained the cook as well. No, I'm not sure. I guess there were different rules for USWA Dallas and USWA Memphis. I guess it was a state rule that you can't do the pile driver in Memphis, but I guess you can still do the pile driver in Dallas, Texas. No pile drivers in Tennessee, only in Texas. And of course, in case that referee looks familiar, he is Tony Falk. Went by Boy Tony, dressed up like Boy George, and called himself Boy Tony. Not sure if that's well. I guess after World Class, he old Ricky Vaughn got him a job at the 7-Eleven and snacked his way to a new healthy body. Not the most prettiest of top rope knee drops, but it'll do. Yeah, went overseas, went to Italy, ate a lot of pasta. I really don't know. Oh, I know he did world uh what's it Wild West Wrestling as the Fabulous Lance, but that didn't stay long. Till World Class kind of bought that up and bye bye Fabulous Lance again. DY Chua with Jojo Buddy Landell versus Steve Williams, and yes, before you go, wow, Steve Williams is at the Sportatorium. No, that's actually not Steve Williams. Was actually Stone Cold Steve Austin, but he was using his real name at the time as Steve Williams. Pissed me off too when he made his debut because they kind of advertised, okay, we got the debut of Steve Williams. It's like, oh, freaking Doctor Death and World Class. And they think this one is kind of his style, but and of course, no. Here we go, Frogman LeBlanc versus Steve Williams, and I was like, wow. The good Doc kind of lost a lot of weight, and dyed his hair blonde and grew it out. Oh, Billy Joe Travis, and that was old Percy Pringle. Yes, but color his hair black, and that is Paul Bearer. Funny thing about it, there's Billy Joe Travis, who was a longtime tag team partner. Well, not a long time. I guess um, I guess a year or two. That was kind of a popular tag team in Memphis. Oh, there he is, Eric Amber against Gary Young. But but Billy Joe Travis went heel and started smashing people with guitars. Let's see, 89, about what, 10 years later, uh, 8, 10 years later, Jeff Jarrett started smashing people with guitars. And there's Bill Dundee, the little Aussie. Why you want Bronco? It's like, okay, I took my bump here. Now I'm staying right. I ain't moving shit. Oh gosh, y'all want me to move? So, 1, 2. And that's Tony Adams, the wife of Chris Adams. Apparently, sometimes would they would carry Von Erich, supposedly, but she was 80, 80s hot. Yeah, Gary Young was just Gary Young. I mean, he was used right in UWF as a TV job guy, but that's about it. Billy Joe, he was okay every now and then. I never would think Jeff Jarrett is still his gimmick. Anyway, Chris Adams, of course, he did train Steve Austin. Um, yeah, who else he trained? Oh, he taught Shawn Michaels and Paul Diamond how to do the super kick. And managing Billy Joe Travis is General Skandar Akbar. So there goes that bottle. Where's the hard way or and as you can tell by Billy Joe Travis's gear there, they didn't quite wasn't able to weren't pay too good, so he can only afford one leg in his wrestling tights, not the other leg. Yeah, I think he did. I think he did as well. There he is. There's the Percival Percy Pringle the third, a babyface here because he was a long time heel of world class as well. Managed Rick Rude a lot. Bill Dundee, he would you know how to give those fiery babyface promos and cocky heel promos as well. Does anybody know what song Chris Adams was coming out to at the time? I think at this time he was coming out to a certain song. Anybody want to guess before they play it, or did they already play it? Anybody know? Anybody know? Anybody know? Let me know if you give up. I'll let you know. Tom Petty's "I Won't Back Down." That was his entrance music during, I think, during this time here. I know he definitely used it once and used it for a while. Um, Not the biggest Tom Petty fan. He had pretty good songs, but this was definitely a song. Didn't sound. I mean, I guess the "I Won't Back Down" thing was okay, but the just the music itself and stuff like that just scream picked something else, dude. Is he gonna say it? Billy Travis, I'm gonna beat your brains in. Yeah, didn't either. But he was the booker at the time, and I guess he was the um, only person he can trust. Wasn't going to leave and go to WWF or and oh, I guess it was was this was NWA WCW at this point in '89, or they would still call them. Ted Turner owned it. They still called it NWA. Hey, let's buy TV. I know this thing had commercials. Does Curtis Matheson make TVs anymore? Is that company still even around? But yeah, I mean, even at that time, I'm just like, why Eric Embry of all people? Those Curtis Mathis TVs, they were evil. Oh, yeah, I imagine those big TVs. Yeah, okay, now I'm gonna get hungry and drive to Texas and give me some barbecue. Those look freaking good. Tom Joyner. I kind of that name sounds somewhat familiar. And yes, I had the privilege of listening to a local radio station not too long ago, and they still do money giveaways. I guess it's some things you just can't change. Gotta get people to listen somehow, especially Atlanta radio stations. Oh, the man, the legend, the Punisher. Damn. And of course, this is a long time before he found a good tattoo artist. He had Scott Braddock. I forgot what Sheep Braddock. Sometimes he was called. He didn't really do anything in wrestling. Neither did the Dog of War. Punisher, this Punisher guy, who's that? He was a babyface. Who you talking about? Braddock or Dundee or Eric Embry? No, Sheik Braddock. I said he never really did anything. He might have been a brief babyface, but he didn't stay long. He wasn't that good. Right? Look, little man. Yeah, Eric Embry, Chris Adams, and Bill Dundee here was the baby faces. No, Rev. Oh, do you meant to pull in the hair? I guess at this time they did. I mean, you gotta understand, Chris Adams, he's a legend there. Bill Dundee, he was a time to put the bra straps down. Holy shit! Yeah, in case you haven't figured that out, yes, that is one Mark Callis, Master of Pain, me Mark Callis, and the un. Well, let's see. Tell you what, I think Mark Callis, Undertaker, still uh, lives in Texas. I'll buy you a plane ticket, and you go ask him. Oh, okay. There, the Queen. That's Terrence Garvin. So there's your Queen, and from what I hear, that big dude in the mask definitely a steer. Well, like I say, Chris Adams. He Texas adopted Chris Adams. You know, even though even though he did uh, turn against the Von Erichs, he apologized and uh, became their world champion for a little bit. So Texas kind of adopted him. Chicks dug him. Chicks dug the accent, according to um, several interviews. Just don't get him drunk. Don't make sure he's not drunk in public, as that one comedian would say. Now, pay close attention to the Punisher. Even though he's in the mask, he's kind of in his rookie years. I mean, the dude had movement. He would bump around for these guys who were, a quarter or less than a half of his size. I mean, yeah, definitely there. You definitely know who the puncher is now. But yeah, I mean, agile, big. Uh, who's that? Bill Dundee, Eric Embry, or Chris Adams? Adams. Well, that dude's been married plenty of times. He is one of these guys. He lose one, he get two or three more. Then marry one of them. Did you ever see that documentary, Gentleman's Choice, about Chris Adams? Anybody in the chat? Yes, very good. It was done by the same people who done uh, Heroes of World Class. Very good documentary. It might be on YouTube. Actually, I did. I think I purchased it on Amazon for to download. I think, or I might have a physical copy. I'll look see if I have a physical copy. Yeah, I think it's on YouTube as well. Maybe still. And here's the man of war. He's ready to go to war on his motorcycle. Gentleman's Choice. Chris Adams. I don't know the full. I know it's Gentleman's Choice. The story of Chris Adams or something like that. I mean, you probably type into search Chris Adams documentary and it might pop up. There's the big knee lift. Not that hot tag. Guess not. But no, you sloppy motherfucker. Get the big fucker in there. Guess we still your sloppy. And here comes a little Aussie. Well, Dundee. I gotta do some math right quick. can't do mathematics. Well, I gotta have the equation for or the numbers first. Then. So according to my math, he was 46 here. Oh, Bill Dundee. I think sometimes he thought he was still a. Well, you know the bad thing about it, Dundee could probably go whip 90% of the AEW roster. I say 90%. Once Bobby Lashley comes in, that percentage is going to drop a little bit, or that yeah, that percentage is going to drop some. Because boy, I wasn't scared of nobody. I'll whoop them all. I'll whoop your Hogan's. I'll whoop your. I can't do it. I sound like a New York accent. Like Emery was kind of calling the match outside the ring a little bit. Yeah, because Dundee was what, 5'6" maybe. Uh, 5'7". Excuse me, 5'7". Build height 5'7". Interesting thing about Bill Dundee, he was the father-in-law of beautiful Bobby Eaton. Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, what made it work is like you would think they actually made you believe that Bill Dundee and Jerry Lawler hate each other. Yeah, get the big guy in. He is sloppy as y'all. Oh yeah, back in the day, you know, things were gonna get real once once his bra strap went down. And I'm assuming as much as they are keeping the Punisher, Mark Calloway, at this time they obviously seen a lot of potential in him because they do keep him in this match a long time. I mean, he's bumping around for every one of them. I mean, wasn't like he was phoning it in or anything. Nice. Yes, he did. I'm assuming that's Hook this book. And that's what I think it was Dutch Mantel or somebody. Or Austin Idol actually. Austin Idol say every time Law would book, he would book a lot of wrestlers in the territory. Then when Jerry Jarrett started booking, he kind of started getting rid of people. And of course, Austin said that's when they decided they wanted to turn me babyface and not feud in the main events with Lawler. So that's when I decided I would take a vacation from there. Oh, there's that sneaky sleeper. Is that it for the Man of War One? See, that's what I'm talking about. Raise her arm up 3 times to make sure he's passed out or she is passed out. Not once, or we didn't need that, Bill Dundee. But attention, all non. I used to love these on the commercials. Attention, all non-profit. Put the power of the USWA to work for you. I guess I never got my letter to have USWA come to my backyard and uh, to support my at the time 13-year-old, yeah, 13-year-old wallet, or uh, me being 13, and I don't know how old my wallet was, but yeah, uh, back pocket fund. There we go, back pocket fund. Yeah, I mean, because you can tell once they ring the bell, it kind of fell flat. But see, I, it's just little things like that. Yeah, I was never a huge Gary Young fan, except for that one time. I had to laugh at the guy. I think this is the first time he actually had to cut somewhat of a promo in Memphis. He was joining Eddie Gilbert, Missy Hyatt's group in Memphis. And he was supposed to be like Missy's bodyguard. And he said something like, "Don't worry, Missy, I'll be watching all over your body, watching your body the whole time." And this didn't sound too good. Not even at that time. Billy Travis is somewhat entertaining. You broke my guitar. Bill Dundee broke my guitar over his head. That wasn't my fault. I didn't do that. Double suck, stat, and mullet. Well, there's uh-oh. Gorgeous Gary versus, is that Doc, the good doctor, Dr. Death, Steve Williams? Fuck no, it's Steve. Who's this jabroni? Calling himself Steve Williams. What the hell? And Chico Torres. I'm pretty sure they got those two girls at the local Dallas Heartbreakers Gentlemen's Club. Oh, the stash of Gary Young. What the fuck was that? And you gotta admit, Billy Joe Travis did play a pretty good sort of, definitely head and toe Memphis style heel. Yeah, it's, once I seen Gary Roll getting a push, even at that time, even at that young age, I was like, what the hell? This guy couldn't beat the Popcorn Man in freaking Oklahoma, in the Mid South UWF territory. This was Texas, where everybody was tough, badass. Hey, oh, supposed to stay down, buddy. Somebody got to call elbow. All right, let's tag this rookie who's calling himself Steve Williams. See what he's got. There we go. Lawson was pretty jacked. Was pretty jacked at this time. I think that's why Billy Travis might be a little upset with Steve Austin here. Austin stole or beat Billy Joe up and took his gym membership. So let's. I'll be honest here. Let's uh either now or wait till this match is done. You know, see this young up and comer Steve Austin, who was using Williams at the time. Did, just watching this right now. If you'd watched this for the first time and seen uh this blonde kid named Steve Austin, would you ever thought he would have be what he became? Tony Paul looks like he's kind of helping out. Well, I mean, it is Chico Torres. Uh, I'm guessing Chico Torres, eats the pin, maybe. Because it's Skandar's, it's General Skandar's army, man. I mean, come on, he is saying he's Steve Williams. That's the least he could do. And that is a Memphis right hand. Everybody in Memphis threw a punch just like that. That big wind up uppercut. Lawler, Dundee, Jarrett, Billy Joe Travis. Uh, Also, actually, in Scott Steiner's young career, he uh he also teamed with Billy Joe Travis and won the AWA Southern Tag Team Championship in Memphis, and that was his final stop before going to WCW. Uh-oh. Oh, here comes Chico Torres. And before we knew what Lucha Libre was, this was just a Hispanic wrestler, and he got a mouthful of freaking Gary Young's boot. And the worst top rope splash in pro wrestling history belongs to gorgeous Gary Young. And it's enough to give him the win, though. All right, let's see. Who's coming to the Sportatorium? Travis Young, Atbar, Dundee, Adams, and Embry. That must be the main event. Tennessee Stud Stable versus Jarrett and Bourne. B.Y. Chu Highwood. Tojo Yamo versus Kevin Barnett. Buddy Landell versus Steve Williams. I wonder if Buddy Landell showed up. All right, and that is USWA Dallas for Championship Sports from '89. Like I said, uh, just watching that match right there, would you have thought that Steve Austin would be what he became? And I mean, hate to say it, freaking the Punisher, of course, Undertaker. Uh, man, looked pretty good in that match. Uh, not 100% crisp or whatever, but he was very fluid, very agile, a lot more fluid than Steve Williams. But see, when he was Mark Callis in WCW, I, I gotta admit, I did kind of see like the second coming of a Bruiser Brody type uh, for him before he became the Undertaker, and of course he probably would have made. He definitely did make way more money being the Undertaker than um, another, big, tough, tall Bruiser Brody type. But agile as hell. I mean, I remember watching Memphis when he was a Master of Pain, and dude was like walking to the middle Memphis ring too. Memphis ring. He'd walk to the middle of the rope and deliver top rope elbow drop. Um, then he done it again in WCW. Yeah, definitely agree with that. Taker looked a whole lot better, and I think Taker had I don't, maybe another 6 months over Steve Austin at the time. Maybe, maybe a little more reps by this time. Because who trained Taker? Was it? Didn't he? Wasn't he another one that had to chase Buzz Sawyer around so he'll train him? I know he don't like Buzz Sawyer, and I think that's the reason he promised to train Mark and took his money and left. He had to track him down. So yes, according to Wikipedia, trained by Buzz Sawyer, Rick Davidson, and John Davidson. Do not know who they are, but yeah, Rick Davidson, John Davidson. Yeah, he was. I mean, he was, but honestly, when he kind of learned to slow down, that feud with Chris Adams really kind of put some eyes on him. Then being part of the Dangerous Alliance, and when he was in WCW, really kind of getting at it, as a TV champion and stuff like that. I thought, shit, this dude's gonna be the next. I can't really say the next Ric Flair, but uh, the next top champion there, or at least one of them. And this is after he was, really kind of coming in his own, but he didn't really come in his own until ECW, then the WWE when he became Stone Cold. Stone Cold, Stone Cold. And I mean, you talking about things that's working out for the better. I mean, at the time, okay, when Stone Cold hit his niche or started, shooting up to the, basically to the moon, being the guy, nobody could have called Steve Austin match better than JR. I think it was a big part. I almost had a big part why he was successful, but just the enthusiasm Jim Ross had, going Stone Cold, Stone Cold, and the era of Austin has begun. No, I don't think anybody could have done that as good as JR at the time. I mean, really, Eric Bischoff, Tony Schiavone, no, none of those people. I mean, as much as I like Mike Tenay, I don't think Mike Tenay could have pulled it off that well. You know, I like Mike Tenay as a wrestling commentator, but you know, Austin was a big, ripped dude. I think he did some top rope moves in his early career. I think I did actually see Austin do a drop kick. Probably the last one. Kind of like Arn Anderson. I think Arn Anderson, on his podcast, he tried to do one, and no, it was who was it? Road Dogg. Road Dogg in his tryout match. He had a big braids and everything. It was still Brian Armstrong. He wrestled, you know, like a dark match or arena match, tryout match basically. And they're like, "Well, you going over? What's your finish?" It's like, "Well, it's my brother Steve. He would always use the top rope drop kick." So he's like, "Okay, do that." And he kind of missed, like, "I don't think I really ever done a top rope drop kick." But and if you go back and see it, it's horrible. Oh my gosh! If I was his brother Brad, I'd slap him every day for that. Like he, every one of the Armstrongs, you know, Bullet didn't. I don't think he did too many drop kicks, but Brad, Scott, Steve, they threw pretty good drop kicks. Road Dogg, not so much, and that's why he never did throw too many. So, uh, anyway, I am getting a bit hungry, and like I said, not feeling quite 100%, but I probably need a good nap. I was gonna go vote tomorrow, but I don't think they're having early vote. But I'm still gonna kind of get up and drive by there and see what's going on. Because I saw two different things. It was like second, third Saturday, and but I definitely need to get to the polls and vote next week because week after that, I don't think. So far, I'm going not going to be in town. I don't know how much I'll be in town next week either. I might have to go down to South Georgia for a couple days and come back. But anyway, just want to say appreciate everybody tuning in. Hopefully, everybody have fun. This week babble about the good old days of professional wrestling. Uh, come back next week. Have a good one. Take it easy. Oh, it's still going. So you can't early vote tomorrow. All right, that definitely work for me. I think this is Barrow County, not. I forget what time they start. I think 9 o'clock. I think I'm definitely going to show up at least 7:30 or 8 because I really don't want to make this a whole all day deal. But at least I'll go by there and check things out. Anyway, like I said, appreciate everybody tuning in. Um, Going to call it a night, fix me some dinner, take a good nap. Uh, so yeah, appreciate everybody joining me in the chat. Those of you who watch the replay, again, click that thumbnail or click that thumbnail. Click the thumb. Uh, oh, y'all were in and out five. Hopefully, I can be in and out five as well. I know last week it was packed at 10 o'clock. I was like, not today. But anyway, what I was saying, click that uh, thumbs up button. Lets me know if you folks like it. Also, leave a comment, say hello, or ask anything you want to ask or comment and reminisce with the rest of us in the comments on the replay. And if you're not subscribed yet, be a champ and hit that subscribe button. Other than that, everybody have a good one. Take it easy. And until next time.
So long from the.
Thank you for checking out our P2 Vision. Subscribe to our P2 Vision to watch Ronald Ray's content that covers the sport of professional wrestling from yesterday to today. His weekly content starts off with Wrestling Trivia Tuesday. Every Tuesday, Ronald Ray asks 5 questions about the sport of professional wrestling. So tune in and have some fun. Then it's WWE Monday Night Raw recaps, where he recaps all the action from the Raw brand. Ronald Ray also does an AEW Dynamite recap show where he recaps and has fun doing it. Do you like live streams? Well, join Ronald Ray live on Spot Show Livestream, where he discusses current wrestling. Join the chat and have fun. Spot Show Livestream is on Thursday nights starting at 8 p.m. If current pro wrestling isn't your thing, like all wrestling past and present, or you're a new fan and want to hear how things were back in the day, then tune in to Wrestling Gold Friday night, where Ronald Ray discusses back in the day when wrestling was wrestling, featuring watch-alongs. That's Wrestling Gold Friday night on Fridays starting at 8 p.m.